Welcome to the Inside Silverstone podcast, a business-focused podcast covering all things tech, engineering and innovation. Hosted by me, Chris Broome, a huge tech, motorsport and gaming fan, and also the owner of Longhurst, a firm of lifestyle financial planners and independent financial advisors located in Silverstone, Northamptonshire. This is a series of unscripted and unpolished conversations with leading business owners, thought leaders and high-tech talent where we discuss their experiences within the Silverstone business and motorsport region. We will also be asking them to share their knowledge, insight and their thoughts on the future just for you. If you're looking to learn more about the Silverstone high growth region and commercially connect with like-minded peers, you've definitely come to the right place. Welcome to Inside Silverstone. Welcome to the next edition of Inside Silverstone. My name's Chris Broome and I'm your host. Today I am delighted to welcome back to the show our good friend Dominic Hopkins from Hewitsons. Dominic, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Chris. Good to see you in these extraordinary times on a very hot day.
Ridiculously hot day. I've literally just had to close the window for audio purposes and it is now a hot box in here. But, right, so as we're doing, Dominic, and as I explained before, we're doing a COVID catch-up with old friends that we've sort of interviewed before, as well as new friends that we're being introduced to. So you obviously came on the show about a year ago or so, well-downloaded episode, which is surprising for a solicitor, and I say that with love and style. So that must mean that our wonderful dear listeners and the communities that we're part of, we're obviously interested to hear what you guys are up to at Hewitsons. And so my first question is a pretty obvious one. You know, how are you personally and family, and how's the business and all the partners and all the staff during COVID?
Oh, well, there we are. We could go on for a long time on this. I'll keep the personal level a bit short.
Okay.
I'm doing fine. As I said to you just before we came on air, no sickness in the family, which has been good. My wife's just recovering from a bit of surgery, but apart from that, all good on the personal side. The business side, Hewitsons, how are we doing? Well, I think as many professional practices, we follow the fortunes of our clients, and we've got clients who have found this period really challenging, and understandably, therefore, some parts of our practice have found a drop-off of business of some significance. Other parts of the practice are working very well, sort of consistently, because we've got business clients who this time hasn't really badly affected them massively in their markets, wherever their markets might be. And then, of course, you've got at the other side, we've got some really successful businesses in this period. You know, you've got IT businesses that are doing some really impressive things out there. Some businesses that people are now depending more on because of what COVID-19 is and the measures that government have brought in has impacted their markets. And so their businesses in demand. So it's a really mixed picture for a practice like Hewitsons. I'm pleased to say, up to a point, our litigation practice, which is the area which I practice in, is being very busy. We've had a very big year, and it continues to do so. Some of the work that we've been doing has continued. It's a continuation of cases that are going through the courts. So the civil courts have carried on doing what they were doing before. They're already used to doing hearings remotely, but they've been doing more now through videos. And so hearings are now online, which actually you get some really good things about online hearings. You can you can have clients. If I've got a client in New York, for example, you can sit in on the hearing without having to travel over to the UK. So some good things going on there. But overall, we know for many businesses, SMEs in particular, this is in certain sectors, this is a really troubling time.
And so with those hearings, those virtual hearings, do you think sort of post-COVID they're going to become more common just because of the ease, as you just explained, for people for transport and travelling, etc.?
It's a really good point, actually, a really good question. I think generally judges like to see you. There is something that judges like to. I don't want to say they impose their authority through their personality, etc., but there's something you do lose from it. But I'm confident that the learning that we have had from this period with the online world, there will be more online hearings, and particularly, you know, where the parties agree that it's a procedural hearing, it doesn't require witness testimony, doesn't require somebody to be right in front of the judge. And so, yes, I think there will be more online activity within the courts and the justice system.
Okay, good. And so from your department's perspective, litigation, I've seen within the FCA, because we're obviously, my business Longhurst is regulated by the FCA, that there's something going on regarding business interruption, and insurers and SMEs. So what's going on there?
Well, I think this is a very significant thing for many small and medium-sized enterprises. SMEs, understandably, have been buying their business insurance, and many have had add-on parts of their policies which cover business interruption. And that business interruption insurance will include, for example, notifiable diseases. So if your business is affected by an infection in the locality, then public health authorities intervene, and that can affect your business, your ability to trade. And understandably, with COVID-19 coming into play, businesses have looked to their cover, seen their business interruption insurance and made claims. But across the board, the insurance industry has been turning away most of these claims. The vast majority of these claims have been turned away, either because they say, well, the disease wasn't a notifiable disease at the relevant time, which was true because it only became notifiable on the 5th of March, or because the policy isn't written to deal with pandemics. And so there's been a lot of debate about the content of the wording of policies. And so the FCA, as the regulator of the insurance industry, insurers, has seen fit to say, well, actually recognizing the massive effect and significance of this, they put together a package of wordings which they think ought to respond to the situation that we're in, and the insurers ought to be respecting. And they brought a test case to the court, which was completed. The hearing was completed a week ago. The trial of that hearing a week ago, and a number of the insurers were given an opportunity for those wordings to put their case as to why, on the proper construction of the contract of insurance, the policy shouldn't be responding. So reasons why it shouldn't be responding. So we've had that trial going on through July. The trial hearing was at the back end of July, and now we're waiting for the decision of the High Court. It was a serious matter. So there were two important judges, Lord Justice of Appeal, Mr. Justice Flo. Lord Justice Flo sat there with Mr. Justice Butcher, a High Court judge. And of course, we have to anticipate there could be an appeal to the Supreme Court. It's that significant because there's billions of pounds at stake, and hundreds of small and medium-sized enterprises, many in our area, many in our region will be affected, and waiting importantly for the outcome of this particular judgment. So it is a significant time, and I think we'll be looking very carefully what the judgment says. So on behalf of a number of my clients, I've been looking and following this very carefully, and certainly I'll be suggesting that many of your listeners will be interested in following the outcome of that hearing.
Do you have what's your opinion on it? Which way do you think it's going to sway, if you have one or can?
Well, I think what will happen is, because there are quite a number of wordings that the court's been looking at, the court would probably find that some of the wordings ought to be responding and some oughtn't to. I don't think it's going to be comprehensively one winner or another. I suspect they'll be looking at each of the policies in turn. That's what they've been asked to do for the various insurers concerned. And there have been various intervening parties, so action groups have got involved as well, where certain of the insurers have got wording which perhaps more obviously than others to be responding. So it's going to be no one winner, I don't think. I suspect it'll be both parties will be looking at the end of the day and saying, well, actually, there are some claims that will need to be recognised and some that won't.
Okay. And obviously, anybody listening to this who needs support and advice from a legal perspective, they can obviously come and talk to you. And
very happy to talk to people about this particular subject and talk about the sort of the implications for the business interruption insurance claim. Yeah, it is a significant thing for the commercial world out
Okay. You're also part of SEMLEP, so you're an ambassador for SEMLEP, which is clearly, in part with what we were just talking about. So supporting the small, SMEs in the region. The business interruption situation is clearly a challenge, and so hopefully, that will turn positive for many people. What other things can people and business owners be looking at, and indeed should be doing to potentially promote themselves and to make themselves more attractive potential customers and clients, for example?
Well, that's another good question. I think one of the things that I'm encouraging businesses to do at the moment is think about, getting that little bit ahead, that little bit of extra help. And one of the things that we all love is a good story. We love a good news story. And despite the troubling times that many businesses are going through, we are seeing some fantastic examples of successful businesses making something of nothing, showing innovation, creativity, showing also an awareness of the contribution that they have outside of themselves, but to the wider community. And the government is encouraging this, is now encouraging people to think about Queen's Award for Enterprise. And there are various categories for Queen's Award for Enterprise, whether it's for innovation, international trade. The one that the government is quite keen on at the moment, and the one thing that I'm encouraging people to think about, is the Promoting Opportunity Award. And in particular, insofar as it helps, looks to recognize businesses that are doing a lot to improve social mobility. I think that's a really important thing at the current time, particularly as we're seeing that we are going to be seeing some societal changes of people, large numbers of people who are going to be out of work for a period, and people who perhaps are losing the opportunities that they might otherwise have. We're going to see disparity in education, with people not being able to get the qualifications and opportunities they would like because the education system has gone into some sort of freeze frame.
Yeah.
And so I think these sorts of things, where we're seeing businesses actually making a difference and actually helping the society, communities around them, or basically making a play in the international market. We've got troubling Brexit times ahead, how people are going to adjust to a new economic reality. How are they going to be able to exploit the markets? Are they doing so successfully? So now's the time to nominate. You can self-nominate as a business. You can go online to the Queen's Award for Enterprise website, webpage, and complete the forms. Look at the guidance, see what they're looking to recognize. It's a 5-year award. If you get an award, it's 5 years. You get it presented by the Lord Lieutenant of the county, depending on which county you're in, and gives you a little bit of an edge. It gives confidence to your commercial partners. It gives you a bit of a selling edge out there. But fundamentally, I think what it does is it recognizes the work of your workforce, the people, your employees, your team, to give them at this time in particular, when they need encouragement, they need some sense of recognition for the hard work they're putting in. I think there's a real opportunity now for people to put themselves forward for these sorts of awards.
Bravo, and I'll make sure that we include some web links in the show notes so for any SME out there that wants to explore this any further, they can do so. So really, really good. Dominic, we're going to start wrapping up the interview. As I said, it's the COVID catch-up. These are short and sharp. 2 last questions, if I may. So the first one is a personal one, actually. So it's 2021. We're in a life post-COVID. What are you looking forward to doing the most?
Well, there are 2 things I really am missing really badly, apart from seeing friends and colleagues in person, because we do miss something when we're not seeing people in person. But I love international travel and to go out and I have been stuck in my room for too long. Yeah. I need to get out. Yeah. So that's one. And the other thing I'm really keen to do, and this is something which I think I find most frustrating, is I'm a Welshman. I love singing. I'm in a band and things like that, and I'm not able to sing at the moment because we're being told I can't sing at church. I can't. It's so frustrating to be able to sing out. So I'm having to sing at home. A poor family. They have to put up with me singing at home. But as soon as I can sing, as soon as I can have international travel, that's what I want. Fantastic.
That's a fantastic response. Welsh singer. There we go. Right, very last question. This is a bit of a stupid one, and I'm not sure if it's going to be relevant for you. We're going to find out. So, drum roll. What is the king of crisps?
What is the king of crisps? Prawn cocktail.
What brand? What make?
That's tricky actually. What make? I'm not going to be drawn on make, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Prawn cocktail.
Good man. No, I love a prawn cocktail crisp. I wasn't sure if you're a crisp person, Dominic. I thought, your taste and position. I wasn't sure if it was more caviar and champagne, but prawn cocktail.
No, prawn cocktail over caviar any day.
Excellent. Dominic Hopkins, partner at Hewitsons, thank you so much for coming back on the show. You look really well. I'm glad everything's going well. We'll make sure there's links in the show notes if people want to get in contact with you or find out anything else that they can find you and make contact.
Good to see you. Stay safe, Chris. Well done. Thanks very much.
The Inside Silverstone podcast is produced by the team at Longhurst for the benefit of those with a passion for all things tech, engineering and innovation. For more information, please visit longhurst.co.uk/Inside Silverstone, whilst also remembering to give us a 5 out of 5 star rating on iTunes. Please note that neither Chris Broome or Longhurst work for Silverstone Park, Silverstone Circuit or Silverstone Technology Cluster.